Today is dual Wagtail Wednesday dual quick tips. If you're working by portable setup, uh, I started out hanging it on my gunslinger. Well, Bigfoot. It is a gunslinger, but it's a Bigfoot version. So I started hanging it on my gunslinger. I used to fill it all the way up, but I no longer do because I was tearing my lower back up. And even with the weight of the tools that I already have in there, and then I'm putting in a quarter to a half a tank on my portable setup, it was still too much weight. So I started hooking the hook of my sprayer inside my waist belt. I tuck it inside my pants where the belt is, and I was wearing it on my left side. But that got to be a pain because when you're maneuvering in tight spots, you already have to shift your body because your gunslinger may hit whatever you're trying to maneuver around, as well as the sprayer on the other side. So rather than keep switching the sprayer or grabbing it and holding it, I designed a way to have it on my back now. And I have extra long cord in there, and there's a real tight hole, so it won't pull out easy. So if you don't need that much line, you could feed it back into the bag and pull it out as you need it. Now, you don't have to have a wireless setup like mine. You can have a manual setup right where the line comes out the top of the bag. You can have your little flow control, and you can turn it on. Johnny, side pull. In case y'all don't know who side pull is, he is Mr. Kimmel. Mr. Kimmel, this applies to you too. I notice you have a portable setup, but you sit it down. If you don't mind wearing a book bag style thing, yeah, I know you have to pump it. That's fine. So you just take your bag off your back and you pump it. It takes a couple seconds. It's no big deal. Now, these things stay pressurized for a good amount of time. I only need to, when I was using my manual method, I only needed to pump it one time for the outside and one time for the inside. But you see the amount of windows that can get done just by doing it one time, which is pretty good. You don't need a whole lot of water anyway, the way I work. But that's today's quick tip. Those who are using this portable setup, work smart, not hard. Don't tear up your back, man. This is not as bad. It's lightweight, and it fits on your back. You see, these are one of these hiking things. So it's real small, you know? So it's not like an actual book bag that you would find high school students rolling around with. That's a slim book bag. But it has 3 compartments. So you can hold a good amount of stuff in there, whatever you need. You know, that way you're not having it all around your waist. It's just another option. I know a lot of guys, especially Brian. He's from Australia. He's a WAG fanatic too. He mods a lot for Reach It tools. He's working with them now. So he has all these extra, he's loaded up to the gills, like one of them stormtroopers, all that stuff around their waist. He's loaded up to the gills like that. I don't like a whole lot of stuff around my waist, I'll be honest with you. So you can have whatever he has around his waist, you can have it on your back if you want. You know, it's all about convenience, you know. How do you want to work? Everybody has a unique way of working. That just happens to be my way because I'm eccentric. Hey, you know, unconventional. The next dual tip I want to talk about, if you have a combination tool like mine, you can use this as a little mop. Sometimes I bring this in even if I'm not going to use it. As you see, we have big plate glass. I know you've seen me here dozens of times. But instead of using a rag, sometimes it's quicker to use like a little mop. Now, you want to have a little self-control when you're mopping. You know, you don't want to get too close. You feel me? And even if you do touch the little bottom part of the window, because there's no water on the squeegee, you can dab the ledge and then come down like that, wherever you might have thought you might have touched the spot. Or if you have a little baby squeegee, an infant squeegee like I have, you can take it and run it along the bottom, and that will finalize the deal. But let's see it in action. When you're doing this, the mop has to be really, really clean for on the inside, because if that's the case, you'll be smearing the finish. And even if you do smear the finish, you just follow up with a damp rag, not a dry rag, because by the time you mop up the excess, some of that water may have dried. All you need is a damp towel, and you'll be able to wipe those smears out from the soap. But this is all you do. That's all you do. Use it as a mop. That's it. This has to be dry. So if you're gonna do this, I would only do this on wide ledges like this. And if you need it for another job, you just let it air dry until, you know what I mean, air dry, or if you have another one. I have a couple of these that I use for this, so if one's too damp, I let it dry out. I'll rinse it in plain water, get the soap off, and I'll let it air dry. And that's that. I usually don't have a problem with these ledges smearing up. Let's go take a look and I'll show you exactly what I mean. You see, there is a little bit of streaks, but like I said, you just take a damp towel. You won't get much streaks, but you take a damp towel, you'll be fine. This is Masters at Wagtail. Macafracka. Bam!